Welcome, dear viewers, to Terrifying Tales, your one-stop destination for spine-chilling stories of the paranormal. Today's tale defies fear, where spectral phantoms lurk in reality's shadows. It's more creaking doors and flickering lights. It's a tale of survival against the unseen. Have you ever wondered what it's like to survive a night in a haunted house? Picture this. A chilling tale of a real-life experience where spectral phantoms lurk in shadows and the supernatural becomes natural. It's more than just creaking doors and flickering lights. It's a tale of survival against the unseen. Our story begins with an ominous mansion, standing alone in the dead of night. This mansion, an entity of dread in itself, basks in the chilling solitude of the nocturnal hours. Its intimidating structure, draped in the inky blackness of the night, was a testament to the stories that circulated among the locals. Erected years ago, its origin was shrouded in mystery, much like its appearance in the moonlit night. The mansion was a haunting silhouette, its shadow falling far and wide, consuming the surrounding area in its eerie darkness. The structure was a grand display of Gothic architecture, adorned with gargoyles perched on high ledges, their menacing eyes staring down at any visitor who dared to venture near. The stony exterior, weathered by time and negligence, crumbled in places, its eerie charm. It loomed ominously in the moonlight, casting a pall of gloom over the surrounding landscape. The pallid glow of the celestial body did little to diminish the mansion's menacing aura. The windows, some broken and others shut tightly, reflected the moonlight in an unsettling way, as if guarding the secrets that lay within. The mansion was a silent sentinel in the night, its foreboding presence shrouded in an eerie silence that was as unnerving as the mansion itself. The silence was a cloak, laying heavy on the grounds and the surrounding wilderness, broken only occasionally by the rustling of leaves in the wind or the faraway hooting of an owl. The wind, a constant companion to the mansion, whispered tales of terror. It whistled through the cracks in the walls, rustling the dry leaves scattered around the grounds, adding a symphony of haunting sounds to the unsettling quiet. The breeze carried with it an unnerving chill, seeping into the bones of any being that happened to be in its path. The darkness, the mansion's uninvited yet ever-present guest, hummed an unsettling lullaby. It played with the shadows, stretching them out into grotesque shapes that danced on the mansion walls. The darkness was a blanket, engulfing the mansion and the world in its cold, unfeeling embrace. It lent the mansion a spectral aura, making it a sight that would send shivers down the spine of the bravest hearts. The mansion ground was nothing short of a graveyard of happiness, where joy and laughter had long since perished. The once lush garden was now a forgotten wilderness, the beautiful flowers replaced by thorny bushes, the merry chirping of birds replaced by the ominous hooting of owls. The path leading up to the mansion was a twisted cobblestones, eaten away by time and overgrown with moss. The garden statues, once things of beauty, were now grotesque figures, their features distorted by time and weather. The mansion stood there, a grim testament to the passage of time, a symbol of dread in the moonlight, an entity that had become one with the night. It was a spectacle of terror, majestically horrific in its grandeur. The mansion, with its gargoyles and shadows, its silence and its tales, had become a legend in its own right, a legend of terror and fear. As the front door creaked open, a chill ran down my spine. The night was long, filled with unexplainable occurrences. A sense of unease encased the entire area, as if a primal fear had been awakened, stirring the animals into silence. The moon, a spectral orb suspended in the inky blackness of the heavens, shone down, casting an ethereal glow over the landscape, transforming the familiar into the unfamiliar, the mundane into the mysterious. The house stood, an ominous edifice silhouetted against the chilling backdrop of the moonlit sky. Each window reflected the eerie light, giving the impression of malevolent eyes staring out into the darkness. Its imposing structure loomed over the surroundings, its darkened silhouette a stark contrast against the silver-tinted surroundings. A quiet hush blanketed the house. An ominous quiet was broken by the sudden and unexpected sounds. Strange noises seemed to fill the air, creating an orchestra of the uncanny. The echo of whispers, like spectral conversations carried on the wind, filled the silence. These were not mere figments of the imagination, they were tangible, audible, they sent a shiver down the spine. These whispers, barely audible, yet clear in their indistinctness, seemed to carry a message, a warning perhaps, from the other side. The creaking of unseen footsteps added to the symphony of sounds. Each creak, each groan of the old wooden floorboards seemed to tell a tale of its own. They echoed throughout the house, a constant reminder of unseen presences, of spectral inhabitants that seemed to walk the hallways and rooms of the house. Chilling gusts of wind swept through the house, each gust an eerie melody. This was not the usual song of the wind, it was different, it was melancholic, filled with a haunting sorrow. It seemed to carry the laments of the past, the cries of those who had once lived and perhaps died within the walls of this house. Each moment was pregnant with an ominous dread, a fear that seemed to seep from the very walls of the house. Each was a testament to the unseen terror that lurked within. The air was heavy, thick with an inexplicable fear, a palpable tension that seemed to drape over every room. The house seemed alive, its every nook and filled with an uncanny energy. Each tick of the clock echoed throughout the house, a sinister rhythm that underscored the night. It was as if the house was keeping time, its heartbeat ticking away the seconds, each tick a constant reminder of the passage of time and unending night. The shadows seemed to come alive, shifting and undulating in the moonlight. They seemed to whisper, each whisper a sinister secret, a tale of and despair. Every corner hid a secret, a story waiting to be discovered, a narrative of the past waiting to be unravelled. Every shift in the light seemed to reveal a new secret, a new tale, a new whisper of the past. The night wore on, the moon watching silently as the house continued its nocturnal symphony. The echoes of the past resonated in the still air, the whispers of unseen ghosts, the creaking of spectral footsteps, the chilling melodies of the wind. Each sound underscored the chilling reality that there was not merely a building, but a living entity filled with the echoes of those who had once called it home. Every shadow seemed to whisper, every corner seemed to hide a secret. The night was filled with an eerie, a palpable fear that seemed to seep from the very walls of the house. It was a night of unexplainable occurrences, a night where the house seemed come alive, where the echoes of the past came alive. The night was long, filled with unexplainable occurrences. Every shadow seemed to whisper, every corner seemed to hide a secret. As the veil of dawn hesitated, survival was not about conquering fear, but about surrendering to it. The morning sky was a distant promise, the approaching light obscured by hues of ominous crimson and sinister violet, a reluctant glow on the horizon barely puncturing the inky abyss that had consumed the world. It was a chilling sight, a shivering anticipation that marked the continuation of our bone-chilling nightmare. Fear was an omnipresent entity, a relentless tormentor. It was not a foe to be vanquished, but a terror to be acknowledged, to be confronted in all its merciless brutality. It hijacked our minds, distorting our perceptions, morphing our thoughts into a labyrinth of disturbing hallucinations. It thrived in the uncharted territories, in the shadows that twisted and twirled on the icy, bare walls of the accursed house. The hesitant rays of the morning light felt like a frail hope on our terror-seared souls. They struggled against the overwhelming darkness, attempting to scatter the menacing shadows and the raw fear they fostered. It was a feeble beacon, beckoning us towards the deceptive sanctuary of the dawn, far from the treacherous depths of the night. The dawn was a mirage, a fleeting glimmer when all else was swallowed by dread. The night had been infested with unimaginable horrors. Invisible spectres played with us, their malevolent presence hovering in every crevice, whispering through the deafening silence of the house. It was a sadistic game of predator and prey. We were but playthings in the hands of these spectral tormentors. We could feel their bone-chilling touch, their icy breath sending waves of terror down our spines. Despite the paralyzing fear that seized us, a silent pact was forged. We would not dare challenge these apparitions, nor attempt to unravel the enigmas that cloaked them. Instead, we chose to endure, to persist. We understood that triumph was not in unmasking the paranormal, but in withstanding the crippling fear it incited. The haunted house was more than a decaying edifice. It was a hellish battlefield where we fought against our own terrors. The groaning floorboards, the flickering lights, the icy drafts, they were all sinister weapons wielded by our unseen adversaries. Yet, with each passing hour of this standoff, we found ourselves growing tougher, unyielding. With each horrifying encounter, we learned to harness our fear, transforming it into a force that spurred us on. Surviving the night was a matter of comprehending that fear was not a foe to be defeated, but a companion to be embraced. It was about acknowledging its might, its capacity to paralyze, to warp and distort, but also to fortify. It was about mastering fear, rather than being its puppet. Fear wasn't a hurdle to survival, but a tool that could be wielded to facilitate it. The reluctant dawn was a muted victory, a testament to our endurance. It was a symbol of our resolve, not over the spectres that haunted the house, but over the terror they had sown in us. It was an acknowledgement of our courage, our resilience, a tribute to our mettle in the face of unspeakable fear. The dawn's light was a much-needed respite. It draped the haunted house in a weary golden hue, creating long shadows that reluctantly retreated with the rise of the sun. It was a sight of relief, of survival against all odds. In the end, surviving a haunted house is a battle not against the supernatural, but against your own paralyzing fear. It was a battle that we had won, not through aggression, but through acceptance and tenacity. As the dawn reluctantly unfolded, we emerged, forever scarred by the nightmarish experience, stronger yet profoundly changed. As I stepped out of the haunted mansion, the morning sun felt like a warm embrace, a soothing balm on our terror-ravaged souls. The dawn's golden touch was a stark contrast to the icy dread that had seized us not long ago. The haunted mansion, once a menacing spectre, now stood as a mere silhouette against the vibrant hues of the morning sky. The relief that washed over us was palpable, a wave of tranquility that gradually washed away the remnants of our nightmarish ordeal. The mansion, with its grotesque shadows and chilling whispers, had transformed into a harmless relic of the past, its threat now extinguished by the comforting embrace of the dawn. In the face of the morning light, we found ourselves contemplating the power of fear. It was an emotion that had the ability to cripple, to paralyze. It was an adversary that had the potential to overshadow all rational thought, to distort reality into a horrifying mirage. Yet, in the face of such a formidable foe, we had triumphed, not through brute force or aggression, but through acceptance and resilience. The haunted mansion, once a place of terror, now stood as a symbol of triumph over fear. It was a testament to our resilience, to our courage. It was a monument to our victory, not over the supernatural, but over our own insecurities, our own paranoias. It was a reminder of the power of courage, of the strength that lies in confronting our fears rather than fleeing from them. As we left the mansion behind, we found ourselves reflecting on our ordeal. The haunted house was no longer a place of terror, but a symbol of our victory. It was a testament to our strength, to our courage. It was a reminder of the power of resilience, of the strength that comes from confronting our fears rather than fleeing from them. In the end, it wasn't the haunted house that was terrifying, it was the fear within us. It was the paralyzing dread that had seized us, the chilling whispers that had echoed in our minds. Yet in the face of such terror, we had survived. We had emerged victorious, not over the supernatural, but over our own fears. As we basked in the warmth of the morning sun, we knew that we were forever changed, forever scarred by our nightmarish ordeal. Yet we were stronger, braver, and more resilient than ever before. Before we end this terrifying journey, we have a small request. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Your likes are the morning sun that drives away our fear of the unknown, just like the dawn that saved us from the haunted mansion. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more spine-chilling stories. Each click is a step forward on this journey, a testament to your courage, your resilience. Together, we can confront the supernatural, we can triumph over fear. And share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your own terrifying tales. Each story is a beacon in the darkness, a reminder that we are not alone in our ordeal. Your words are the whispers that echo in the silence, the shadows that dance in the corners of our minds. Stay scared, stay safe, and remember, fear is only as deep as the mind allows. Just like the haunted mansion, it is not the darkness that is terrifying, but the fear within us. Face it, confront it, and you will emerge victorious. As we bid farewell to the haunted mansion, we leave you with this final thought. It is not the supernatural that we must conquer, but our own fears. And in the face of such a formidable foe, we are stronger, braver, and more resilient than ever before. Thank you for joining us on this terrifying journey. Until next time, stay scared, stay safe.